Let's bring in defense attorney Misty Marris, who is with us again this morning. Happy to see you, Misty. Let's talk about Jennifer's defense. Sarah. Good morning to you. Jennifer's defense is very much based on the fact that she says she did not buy the gun for Ethan and that she can't be responsible for something she had no idea was going to happen. Is that defense going to work for her, you think? Is that a strong defense?
So the purchase of the gun is very central to Jennifer's defense. And in fact, it's one of the reasons why we're seeing the trials be separated. Jennifer is being prosecuted separate from her husband, James. And a lot of that relates to the fact that James purchased the gun for Ethan. We saw evidence play out in the courtroom yesterday. James went to the store with Ethan. They purchased the gun. As the gun owner, he has different responsibilities relating to maintenance, safekeeping, storage, and accessibility to that gun, including it's illegal to purchase a gun on behalf of another person. So yes, that is a huge part of Jennifer's defense. However, the prosecutors are making arguments that essentially say who purchased the gun really isn't the point. They're presenting evidence that shows Jennifer knew that Ethan had access to the gun. Who purchased it really doesn't matter. Some of the evidence we saw yesterday was Jennifer with Ethan at a gun range with that very gun. We saw videos from Ethan's Instagram, which showed that he had basically unfettered access to the gun at home. And so what prosecutors are going to say is really that question of who's the purchaser is ancillary to the issues in this case, which is, did Jennifer willfully disregard these warning signs that Ethan posed a threat to others?
Which is the definition sort of involuntary manslaughter. I do want to ask you about one of the facts in this case that I simply can't quite get out of my head. Before the public knew who was responsible for this shooting, while it was happening, there was a text that was sent to Ethan from his mom, Jennifer, and the text read, "Ethan, don't do it." After we knew that there was a school shooting at this school, could this be a really key piece of evidence? It seems like that to me.
Absolutely, Sarah. Such a tragic case, and we saw so much emotion in the courtroom. And that text message is very, very central for a couple of reasons. Jennifer Crumbley's defense is essentially that Ethan was manipulative, that he actually hid and she was unaware of his spiraling, downward spiral of mental health, ultimately leading to the shooting. And it's all about what she knew or should have known, which ultimately resulted in the death of these four kids. So tragic. That text, when that comes during, news is breaking that there's a shooting at the school, her immediate inclination is, Ethan, don't do it. That's going to show that she had some notice, that she was on notice of these issues and his propensity for violence before this. And, there's parents on this jury, Sarah, and they're going to be thinking, my gosh, if there's a school shooting at my child's school, I'm going to be saying, are you okay? I'm not going to be saying, don't do it. So I think these messages are going to be really, really impactful. And that one particularly, that's going to stick in the minds of the jury as they deliberate.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tragedy that didn't need to happen. You have now 5 families, including Ethan's family, whose lives will never be the same. But the teacher there, we were seeing her on the stand yesterday, who was shot. So many people having to go through such tragedy because of one person. Thank you so much, Misty, for all of this analysis. It is a fascinating case that could be unprecedented. We will see what happens. John?